And hello everybody, welcome back to the channel guys. I hope you're all well. Before we do get into today's video, as always, please do smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for daily Rangers content. Guys, just a quick one before we do get into it, guys. I just want to say I'm sorry, of course, for no uploads over the last couple of days. I was commuting all the way back to Europe, so I am back in Europe now. Thank you for bearing with me, but there hasn't been that much you've missed out upon, of course. Rangers are back in action again tonight as we do take on Dundee at Dens Park, a game that still, as supporters, well, being told that it's still going ahead, but there's a chance that it could get called off due to the pitch. Just an absolute disgrace at this moment in time with Dundee. I don't want to keep ranting and raving about it. We'll talk about the game a bit later on in today's video, but it's just unfair for supporters, especially during the week, towards at night time, not knowing if they're going to be travelling to the game or not. It's something that just needs to be confirmed right now, and here's hoping obviously it does go ahead, because I don't see how it. The thing is that the split happens this weekend, so the fixtures do need to be played very, very soon, or before the weekend at the latest. But it's just an absolute disgrace that there is no contingency plan in place in case that match wasn't able to go ahead. But we'll find out at this moment in time. At the time of recording, it does seem as though it will go ahead. But here's hoping the conditions are good enough for a game of football when it's not going to take the piss. Because, to be honest, that pitch against Motherwell at the weekend was an absolute disgrace. Apart from that, though, there hasn't been that much you've missed in terms of the news. Obviously, the fallout from the Old Firm. I gave you my thoughts on the video on Monday. But what a game that was, eh? Such a cracking game. I can't believe where we were at the start of it at half time. Since then, after that, there's just been complaints after complaints on how the result of the Old Firm went. People not happy. Always the case. There's always somebody or a side that aren't happy with the results. And the one that just keeps on propping up at this moment in time is this Fabio Silva penalty. Now, I don't know why there's so much debate. I can't get over it, why there is so much debate on this penalty. I've seen loads of different pundits come out and speak about it. I've also seen the referee watch, where they go through that sort of Sky segment. Every person on that panel said that it was a penalty indeed. I just don't know why everyone's getting so obsessed with this penalty decision, and I don't know why the Celtic side don't see it as a penalty. For me, 1,000%, 100% a penalty all day long. He gets contact with him and brings him down. That's it. The way I look at it, if you don't think that's a penalty, or if you think that's a penalty, if you don't think that's a penalty, the foul in the lead up to Rangers' second goal that was disallowed should be then chopped off, because they were basically carbon copy. So if you want to look at those, the same sort of decisions, and to be honest with you, I thought the referee got actually spot on, John Beaton, in that game. And to be honest, from an Old Firm game, so an Old Firm perspective, I've never really seen a referee do that much of a good job. I thought the decisions were pretty good. I thought they were pretty good in that match. But as always, guys, throughout Scotland, always the case. Everyone, a meltdown. Everybody has got something to complain about. But it's just football. That's what it will always be like in Glasgow. Someone's always going to be, or a side's always going to be pissed off. A side's always going to have complaints. But for me, refereeing performance, I don't think there was anything wrong. We had a penalty against us. We had all these other things against us. I don't think anything was wrong with that game. I thought it was fine, but as stated, you can't please everybody in Scotland. But anyway, enough of that. We could go back to the top of the table tonight with a win against this Dundee team. Obviously, a lot of the talk leading up to the game is wrongfully with regards to this pitch, which I just don't want to keep on talking about, which I don't want to keep on saying about. But honestly, it could go ahead at this moment in time. I think it is going ahead, as I keep on saying. I think it is going to go ahead. But you don't know what happens in Scottish football. It can just be called off an hour before. They've done it before like that, so it could do that a bit later on. Who knows? But Dundee as a team, though, currently sitting 6th in the table. Big important match for them. They're looking to try, of course, get into the top 6 and get confirmed into the top 6. Of course, over the last couple of games, they've done a bit patchy in terms of form. They did lose at the weekend to Motherwell on this pitch. Prior to that, they did have 2 wins on the bounce, one against St Johnstone, and of course, one against Aberdeen prior to the international break. And yeah, a saying that, deserve to be where they are. 6th in the table, very, very patchy form. Win some, lose some, draw some, but we should have no problems against them. I don't want to pitch to be an excuse tonight. I don't want that to take the focus away. Rangers need to make sure that we go out there and win. We were let off the hook at the weekend by the comeback. We showed great heart and determination to come back into the game, but my goodness me, we can't drop any more points. We can't drop any points in the lead up in the running. We need to go back to the top of the table tonight and stay there for the rest of the season. That's just how it's got to be for Rangers going forward. And now with players coming back into the mix, I think that would be seriously important. But going into another subject, guys, of course, in the Old Firm game, one man did make an instant impact, and that, of course, was Abdallah. Sima came off of the bench, and instantly, really, we were a different side. Of course, we've missed him a lot. His goal contributions so far this season have been absolutely fantastic for Rangers. Goals and assists, and since he got injured at the African Cup of Nations, he's been a big miss in terms of up top for us, and he showed what he was capable of course, got his goal in the Old Firm on Sunday as well. But immediately after that, fans have been discussing whether he's going to be coming, and obviously immediately after that, Football Insider have stated that if Rangers do win the league and get Champions League football, they will meet the valuation that Brighton have placed on his head. Reports are stating that it is 10 to 15 million pounds, and whether we sign him or not will determine whether we sign him or not will all come down to if we win the league and get that automatic Champions League football. That is according to Football Insider today. But for me, definitely, I think Sima, in terms of his age, his profile, obviously we're going down this new route of recruitment with Niels Koepen, under Philippe Clement, going for sort of younger players, but certainly he does fit that model. He's been signed by this Brighton side who have been very good with their business as of late, and I think would be a really good bit of business. If we can get him for somewhere between 7 to 10 million pounds, that being reported that we could get in between 7 to 10. Obviously, they value him at 10 to 15, but you know, injuries this season could play a part into us. If we can get for 7 to 10 million pounds, you know, he'll still have a massive resale value there. We've spent 7 million pounds before on Ryan Kent. Obviously, it never really worked out. But if we got Sima in for, say, 7 million pounds, he spent a couple of years here. Who's to say that he couldn't go for another 20, 25 that we've seen in Scotland before? And this, I think, would be an absolutely massive signing for us. And I think, especially seeing the impact that he made in the second half of the Old Firm game, I think that's someone that we should be going all in for. And I would love us to go get Sima. I've been changing my minds on some of the players that are currently out of contract this season. The permanent signings have kind of looked at John Lundstrom and thought, should we be offering him a new deal? But certainly, the players that could be leaving this summer, Sima for me is a player that needs to be getting something. We should go into negotiations. Rangers were in negotiations in January about making and trying to make the signing permanent. But as stated, news today confirms that if Rangers win the league, they will sign him. If Rangers don't win the league, then, well, we don't know. It all comes down to this Champions League funds this summer. So Rangers better get a move on. Let's get back to the top of the table today against Dundee. Rangers fans, that brings us to the end of today's video. What do you think of Abdallah Sima's impact in the Old Firm derby? And is he a player that you would spend 7 to 10 million pounds on? Let me know down there in the comment section below. That brings us to the end of today's video. As always, please do smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for daily Rangers content. Remember to check out our Rangers t-shirts. They're available on our website by going down into the link in the description, or go to rfcclothing.com. Thank you, and I'll see you all next time. Take care. Peace.